Let's not waste any more time, as the marquee game from this past weekend in Week 13 was the Eagles defeating the Ravens 24-19 in Baltimore. And so, Kevin, with that fresh Saquon Barkley jersey, fresh off a trip to SoFi Stadium, just how are you feeling about them Eagles?
Belt to ass is what happened. So before we get into the game, we bring up the group chat a lot. So I'm gonna bring up Toddy and I's chat before the game. How we feeling, Kev? Smitty playing? Yeah, Smitty's playing.
This is not a group chat conversation. This is Kevin and Toddy text. This is our personal text messages that he's airing out.
He's airing out the private text.
He said, Kevin, are the Ravens a Super Bowl contender? I said, are the Ravens? I said, are the Raiders? Or the Browns? You know, I mean, if they can do it, why can't we? Derrick Henry, Kevin, 125. He's going to run all over you. I said, Toddy, verbatim. You ever hear of Jalen Carter? ? Jordan Davis? ? Josh Sweat? N'Kobe Dean? He said, that don't mean nothing to Derrick Henry. Coming into the game, averaging 110 yards. Toddy, you want to let the listeners how much he finished with?
I believe it was 82 yards.
82 yards. Yeah. A couple weeks ago, we did a top 5 team in the NFL. Shaun wasn't here, but the two guys under me, Ravens are top 5 team, Kevin. It's just the Browns. It was just a bad game. It's okay. Lamar's going to do it. They're going to hand Derrick Henry the ball. The receivers are going to catch it. It's all going to work itself out, Kev. This defense sucks, but they're going to figure it out. Week after week after week, I was told that this was the best thing since sliced bread. This is Lamarvelous. They came in 8-4, and now they're sitting at 8-5. They're 3-3 against good teams. They came in with the number 1 offense. This defense has dismantled them. We were down 9-0, and another group chat text. Y'all in trouble from Toddy. And then we get a go Ravens.
What was the score?
It was 0-9. And, I don't know about Cavs, but I'm sitting back telling Alyssa, you know what? It's week 13, and there's been 12 games where we ain't scored in the first quarter. So am I upset? Am I all hands over heels? No, because at some point, we have to figure it out. Toddy, I keep bringing up this graphic. Every time we play somebody, Toddy goes, well, Kevin, what about so-and-so? Fill in the blank. Fill in the blank is the number 1 receiver on the other side. What are you going to do about him? What are you going to do about him? And I say, he has to serve his sentence in Guantanamo Bay. You don't like it, but you love it. There's 3 things in the world: taxes, death, and Guantanamo Bay. There's things that are just going to happen regardless. He is locking up your favorite receiver's favorite receiver. And I come on here week after week. I know what Toddy's a Boston fan. I know what the Boston fans in the 80s and the 90s, when you see 33 making a play here, it's like goddamn Larry Legend out there. Cooper DeJean, this is going to be the first year there's a co-defensive rookie of the year because they both play for the Eagles. Cooper DeJean is making plays. A lot of guys didn't notice this. There were 2 plays where Avonte Maddox was on the field. Pass interference, legal contact. 2 plays. He played 2 plays. And as an Eagles fan, I said, you know what? It's only 2. It used to be the whole game. But now we got Cooper DeJean, so we're seeing the better things in life. So let's get on this offense. Coming into the season, Bill Belichick, Kevin. Bill Belichick coming to Philly, Kevin. The Philadelphia Eagles are 10-2 for the 3rd straight season. There's only been 7 coaches to ever do that. Sean Payton, Bill Belichick, Tony Dungy, the good Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, Mike Ditka, and John Madden. Kevin, your coach isn't good. Kevin, your quarterback's throwing into triple coverage. I came on here and said, I'm taking my quarterback over everybody. Kaz, you weren't here yet, but Shaun wrote it down for the worst takes, and he laughed at me. I said, I'm taking him over Patrick Mahomes. Jalen beat him. Put him over Josh Allen. Jalen beat him. Put him over Lamar Jackson. Jalen beat him. Who's next? Who's next? We're going through this. I told Toddy, we run uphill in our downtime. We're not new to this. We're true to this. We are making noise. We have no Smitty, and we're still putting up these points. The Ravens, you can sit back and say, oh, damn it, Justin Tucker, you suck. This was the number one red zone offense in the NFL. Justin Tucker wasn't on the game. He wasn't on the field that much anywhere else. But when you're coming against some real dogs, it's hard. But I came on here and I wanted to make it known that the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL. And Kevin, what about the Lions? You know, they're the little engine that can't, because they have 16 injuries, 16 guys on IR, 13 of them on defense. At this point, they're throwing people out there trying to figure it out. So, yeah, they're figuring out these close games, but if Toddy's guy, Caleb Williams, had a brain cell, you know, they call a timeout, kick field goal, you know, who knows? But with all that being said, Lamar Jackson, I'm sorry it had to be you. You will not be winning another MVP. And there's only two options for MVP, and it's Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley.
Well, Toddy, I feel like I should give you a chance to respond here. But before you do, I just wanted to highlight a couple more YouTube comments, as one of our favorite listeners, Uncle Manny, first and foremost says, congrats to Kevin and Kaz. Have a great show. That's coming from a Cowboys fan. So you know he had to swallow his pride with that one. And then this one's for you, Jaevon, and you can take it from here. As Uncle Manny says, lesson, Vaughn, don't put anything in writing. No personal chats. And so, Jaevon, if you wanted to respond to everything Kevin just had to say.
I mean, I was confident on the Ravens, bet the Ravens. I don't think I would have changed anything. Like, hindsight's 2020, obviously. I think the Eagles as an underdog, I think they're undefeated straight up. Whenever they're underdog, I remember the last time they were a dog on the road against the Bengals, and they beat the shit out of the Bengals.
Beat the shit out of the Bengals. Say it again for the listeners, starting in the back.
I won money that day. Maybe I should have looked at it like, oh, the Eagles are on the road and they're a dog again. Maybe right with the Eagles. But it was Lamar Jackson, so I probably would end up betting the Ravens again. And they didn't have Devonta Smith, who did not play in this game. They kind of just handled them. Just going into the game, the Ravens started out pretty hot. Lamar looked like Lamar, Derrick Henry. Zay Flowers was getting open early. And on one of those plays, Avonte Maddox was in the game, as Kevin mentioned earlier. And it looked kind of a little shaky earlier. But I feel like towards, the middle of the game, after the first quarter, the Eagles started to settle in. Their D-line was getting after Lamar, kind of keeping him in the pocket. A lot of teams let Lamar scramble, and I thought the Eagles were able to keep him inside of the pocket and not let him get outside and scramble. I felt like they had some sort of a cap on Derrick Henry for the most part of the game. I thought Cooper DeJean played really well. I thought the D-line for the Eagles played really well. Quinyon Mitchell, man, I saw something saying that he's not even the favorite to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's Jared Verse right now, which is kind of weird.
It's because it's pretty. He has the sacks. Quinn doesn't have the interceptions.
Yeah, he doesn't have the interception numbers, but if you watch him play, look at all the stats of all the receivers that go up against him. He's been playing lights out. I think he should definitely be Defensive Rookie of the Year in my book. If we're watching the games, I mean, it's not really close in my opinion. Cooper DeJean, he's been balling. What's the other white kid's name? Blankenship,
baby. Reed Blankenship.
He's been
the Milky Way is what
chalk dog, baby, chalk dog.
I like chalk dog.
He's been playing the ass off, and then we got to go to the offense. Saquon Barkley. I mean, he showed out again. He wasn't really playing up to a standard. I'd say to the third quarter is kind of where he kind of went loose. Jalen Hurts found a way to get the ball to Dallas Goedert. He was making plays. Obviously, AJ Brown was doing what he did. I mean, no one could really stop him. And And Jalen Hurts didn't turn the ball over, so that was I thought he looked really well when no one was open. He was able to use his legs and be able to move the chains. The Ravens just they kind of got stagnant after those first couple of drives, and let's not forget Justin Tucker just looks like a shell of himself. Ravens fans used to just watch him walk on the field and you didn't even have to look. Like it was automatic whenever he looks. And now he's going out there and he's shanking field goals. He's missing extra points. It's like you got to take him behind the bar and shoot the old dog. Like it's bad. But I mean, the Eagles are dominating really good teams. And this reminds me of a team that, played in Santa Clara for a couple of years where they just dominated any and everyone that they played against. The Eagles are doing it, and they're young. They got young people on defense. They got young people in the secondary. You got Devontae Smith locked up. Saquon Barkley is obviously under contract. Jalen Hurts is under contract. AJ, all these guys are under contract, so it's not like they're going to be going anywhere.
Youngest defense in the NFL.
I mean, they're firing on all cylinders. I mean, this team is clicking, and when they're on, they're on. They just beat a really good team in the Ravens, who a bunch of us on this podcast said they were top 5. So I mean, what does your guys' remaining schedule look like? I don't know if Kevin could probably or Kaz probably.
Cakewalk. It don't matter who's on the other side of the field, but if you want me to look it up for you, I can.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
We have the Panthers, we have the Steelers, we have Washington again, we have New York again, we have Cowboys again.
Like I said, it's
I'm pretty sure that's it.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I don't know. They're definitely in contention for the number 1 seed. I mean, the Lions
is back on Thursday.
Yeah, they got these two guys to the left of me are going to be wearing cheeseheads on Thursday. So,
Pack is back, baby.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna be fighting for that number 1 seed for the last final 5 weeks of the season. So yeah, I mean I'll give credit when credit is due. The Eagles are one of the best teams in the league right now, and I really can't say anything bad about them because they're playing their ass off right now. And I won a bunch of money on them, so I ain't gonna be no hater like some other people on this podcast. But I mean, they keep playing like this, and when they get Devontae Smith back, it's going to be a problem for the whole entire league.
Well, you guys notice the wording in which Jaevon used there. One of the best teams in the NFL. We'll get to that a little bit later, whether or not they are the best. But Kaz, you've been sitting, waiting, and listening. What did you think about the Eagles' 24-19 win in Baltimore?
Okay, first off, Kevin, my brother, understand when I make my picks. I'm not doing it because here we go.
Hey, I don't give a damn who we're playing against.
I'm picking the Eagles.
Steelers, I'm choosing the Eagles. I don't want to say nothing, but the dude to my right chose the Bills.
I'm just saying, listen, bro.
You couldn't pay me to choose against the Eagles. I couldn't do it.
I'm just saying. I also every week, whenever I do my YouTube videos or whatever, my picks, I put $1 on my picks as a parlay. 6 tips or 16 games, 16 leg parlay, $1. Usually can flip to some good money if you call every game correct. So I base it off of that. What's up? Yeah, I picked the Ravens to win. I did. Okay. I picked the Ravens to win. I thought that us on the road, okay, no Devonta Smith, no Slay. I'm like, this is just a recipe for disaster if Nick Sirianni gets in the way. And you know what? Early on, he was getting in the way. The play calling didn't make sense. And I actually tweeted at some point of the game, I said, I was bitching and moaning like I normally do on Twitter. And then at some point I go, holy shit. I said Kellen Moore was in his bag that drive. It's the first scoring drive, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like, that's what it should look like. A little bit of Saquon, a little bit of Jahan Dotson, AJ. I think Hurts maybe ran one time and then got it for the touchdown. And I was like, so it is a thing. We can make sense because guess what? We're going to need for things to look like that on offense if we're going to win this game. And I was still kind of right about my early prediction. I said I need for Jalen Hurts. I said on Twitter, very critical on Jalen. I said, looking at this game, Jalen Hurts needs to show up. And I said, I will allow one. I said, I will allow one turnover because we're playing against a really good team. And we're playing against a playoff team, a Super Bowl contender. I still think the Ravens are. Okay. It may not be perfect like I want it to be. Not only that, Jalen Hurts has not played perfect. He's played very competent and very careful and very sharp, which that's all we can ask for as Eagles fans. But I said, no Smitty, no problem. We have A.J. Brown. We have Saquon Barkley, who is literally playing like the best player in the NFL. We have the best offensive line in the NFL. We have a top 5 potential-wise, probably more like a top 8, 10 tight end right now, okay? We have the number 1 defense in the league. Do we need Devonta Smith to win this fucking game? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it like that. So I'm like, so if we do end up in a pickle, it's going to be because of, unfortunately, where you put most of the blame on, Jalen Hurts. And I'm not going to hide the fact I'm critical on him. I'm very critical on him. I love the guy because I know how good he can be. I know he can give us 250, 300 yards a game and a pair of touchdowns through the air if he really wanted to. But unfortunately, with our coaching, you saw at the very beginning of the game, you could definitely tell this is not good Eagles football. It's not the Eagles football to where we're using there are people tweeting, why the hell does Derrick Henry already have 7 carries and Saquon have like 2? It's like, why, what are we doing? Like, what are we waiting on? We know who we have. We have the best running back in the NFL right now, and it's not even close. It's a gap. He's the best. He's everything. He's our entire offense for the most part. To where A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith right now aren't even playing like top 10 wide receivers, even though they probably both are. A.J. for sure is a top 10 wide receiver. He's probably a top 5 wide receiver talent-wise when it's all said and done if he got the targets. He doesn't get them anymore because of Saquon, which is okay. It's okay. But going into this game, I'm like, we're in Baltimore. We are 3-point dogs. No Devonta Smith. I could just see the excuses. Well, we didn't have Smitty. We didn't have this. And I made a TikTok after we lost to, who was it? Falcons, right? We lost to the Bucks and who else? Falcons game. And I remember making a TikTok where I said, if you're a good team, okay, you shouldn't need everything perfect to happen for you to win. If you need everything perfect to happen for you to win, that probably means that you're not as good as you come off as your record. All right. And guess what? There's a team like that right now in the league that's number 1 in the league, and that's the Chiefs. People are saying left and right, they're probably not going to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say it until I see them lose. But people are saying the Chiefs aren't good. The Bills could beat them. The Ravens could beat them. Hell, the Chargers could probably beat them. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to playoffs, people are saying that, like, and they're confident in that because the Chiefs they've needed everything perfect to happen for them to win games. They have never just outright won a game. So early on in the season, I was saying about the Eagles. Fast forward to now, we went from kind of squeaking by to having a couple dominant wins. Well, guess what? We're having the most dominant wins at the right time. Dominated the Bengals. Okay, we obviously, rightfully so, injury prone, but dominated the Cowboys. We dominated Washington. We dominated now the Ravens. Because guess what? This 24-19 score ain't shit. They scored a last-second touchdown in garbage time to make it from being 12 to 24. Because guess what? I lost a lot of money on that. I took the Eagles to cover 11.5 points right after we scored the last touchdown.
Wow.
I'm like, yep, took it. And I'm like, this game's over. This game is over. And we have the ball. We'll kick a field goal. We'll go up 12. Guess what? We went up 12, right? All right. They had what? Less than a minute to score? What did they do? We laid off. The game was won. Lamar Jackson ran it for like 60-some yards and then hit Isaiah Likely on a dart to end the game. Just to cover that spread. So regardless, it was 12 to 24. We're going to call it that. I'm not calling it 19-24. What I will say about this Eagles team is this. Kev's going to hate to hear it, but I'm going to say it. We still need to see Detroit. I'm not going to parade around like we're the best team in the NFL when there's a team that's in our conference that has a better record. That has beaten formidable. We're at the point of the season now where everybody has played somebody good. So there's a few two-loss teams in the league. Minnesota's one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like they only got 2 losses as well, same record as us. It's not like we're sitting there and like, yo, we're the 1 seed. We're the 1 seed. Now, and I see what Plummer says, we on Detroit ass. Don't get me wrong. I've seen enough. I'm ready. I've seen enough. I've seen what it looks like for for Hurts to show up, for Smitty and AJ to show up for some games, and obviously Saquon. And this is about as complete as it gets. I desperately want that 1 seed. I need Detroit to lose the game. I believe if Detroit loses Green Bay and we win out, we get it. We'll have the same record, but we have the tiebreaker because we beat Green Bay. We beat Green Bay in week 1. If they end up beating Green Bay, then all of a sudden all the mathematical shit comes in. This needs to happen, that needs to happen, whatever, yada yada. But there's a possibility, and Green Bay is a good team. So I'm hoping and praying for that, because if the 1 seed goes to Philadelphia, we're going to the Super Bowl. No, even if it doesn't, we're probably going to the Super Bowl.
Even if it doesn't.
Yeah, even if it doesn't, we're probably going to the Super Bowl. The only thing that scares me, Kevin, is this: we had the earliest bye week. We had a week 5 bye week, so we're playing straight through now all the Super Bowl. There is no more breaks, straight through. I would like to have that bye, just to kind of reset a little bit again, get guys, if they are a little banged up, healthy, or give guys rest, because that's a long week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then probably going to have to play up to week 18, because if Detroit, if there's still a chance to get it, we're going to play our guys until we can't get it. So we might be playing the entire season with no resting starters right into the playoffs. That's hard. That's a lot of football, man. Okay. But other teams are going to go through the same shit. Detroit can't rest their guys either until they clinch that 1 seed. They can't. So the NFC right now, it's looking really good when it comes to competitiveness. It's awesome. It's amazing. I just want it so bad. I want us to get that 1 seed because we fought for it. We've proven it. I think we deserve it, and I do think that we're going to get it. I think that Detroit's going to drop a game somewhere, and we're going to finish out right and win. But back to the game though, complete game. Jalen Hurts did what he needed to do. This game was very similar to, guess what, Niners fans, the game that everybody bitched about when you guys lost 2 quarterbacks and you guys had to use some backup guy, whatever the hell his name was, in the NFC Championship game. Well, Jalen Hurts only put up like about barely 100 yards. He didn't need to do anything more than that. We ran the ball. It was very similar. We didn't need to see Jalen Hurts throw for 150 yards just to AJ Brown and Smitty, this and that. He did it again. He had 100. He was 11 for 19, only 118 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown. It's the same thing. At some point, if you don't like it, stop it. That's all I'm saying. If you don't like it, stop it. So no, the stats on Jalen Hurts end doesn't look like Matthew Stafford, when on his best game, where it's 375 yards and 4 tutties. It didn't look like even Jameis Winston tonight, who had a pair of interceptions but 4 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants that, and for us to lose. I'm cool with this. He only threw 19 times. Bro, there was games where Jalen Hurts in previous seasons have thrown 30-plus times. Multiple times this year because of Saquon and the fact that we're playing more competent on offense. He's only thrown over, I think, 30 times, maybe a couple times this year. Maybe. I haven't even looked it up. You have to fact check me. This team went out there and they beat a very good Ravens team on the road. If that doesn't tell you that we're as legit as they come, I don't know what will. I don't know what more do you guys need for it to be 34 to 19? 44 to 19? Do you need Saquon to go for 250 again and then 5 touchdowns? What? There's something about the Eagles in the way that we exist to other fans that you guys just can't be I want to say thankful because you guys don't care about us, but you can't appreciate it when we win. There's zero appreciation. There's always something. We've rebuilt. We have probably one of the youngest fucking defenses in the league right now. All playing like Pro Bowlers. There's gonna be hella Pro Bowlers from the Eagles on this year. Okay, our offense got a guy missing here. AJ Brown was done for a couple games. Smitty's missed a game or 2 here and there. Saquon has missed games yet. Lane Johnson went out once. We lost Jordan Mailata for a few games. What more do you guys want? Dallas Goedert? Why? So just a good game that we won on the road. That game, Kevin, to make you feel better now. Okay, don't beat my ass, brother. I'm on board with you now. Okay, we are them. I still want to beat Detroit. We got to beat the best to be the best. I still want to beat Detroit, but confidently, if we play Detroit, I think that we would beat them, and I think it'd be handily. I think that'd be the same way that was with this game, where it's like they'll have some moments, but once our defense gets to clicking, there's nothing you can do because our offense, we might start slow, but we always find our groove every time. And I believe that Brian Westbrook said it best on Twitter. Everybody was panicking the first couple drives with the Eagles. I think we went like punt. 4 punts back to back. And he said, well, the Eagles always start off slow. They've always done it all season long. I'm like, you know what? That is absolutely true. We've always started off slow. Coaches got out the way. Kellen Moore gets in his bag. All of a sudden, you see what happens. So shout out to the Birds. Big win against the Ravens. Nobody right now can tell me shit.
Well, that is a lot to respond to. A couple things. I got a couple bullet points here. Number one, to compare a game in which the two-time MVP Lamar Jackson is actively playing in to win the 49ers had Josh Johnson and then Christian McCaffrey at quarterback. It's the same thing, apparently. Like
they were.
We talking about what Jalen Hurts did. We're talking about what Jalen Hurts did, not your quarterback. I'm just saying.
They're so sensitive.
But yeah, of course we're sensitive. It's not a good time for us right now, Kevin. So just like Kaz, I agreed with almost everything you said, but when you sprinkled that in there, I was just like, oh, all right, I've been triggered. But and Kaz, to get back to something you said at the top of your point, is that what you went through yesterday is exactly why Toddy, when he got me into betting for a year, exactly why Toddy told me never live bet ever. Now Toddy definitely dabbles in some live betting, but he told me to stay away for that exact reason. And
it sucked.
Yeah, that just sounds like straight pain. And I wanted to highlight so
advocate now.
he has changed his ways. There's a lot that I wanted to highlight from the YouTube comments, but they just keep stacking up, and we appreciate all of you for participating in the audience. And so before we close out this Eagles segment, Kaz, if you could, please respond to a couple of things for me. First and foremost, from your stream, Chicken says, nah, fuck that, Kaz. We the best team in the NFL. We taking everyone. We win in the Super Bowl by 14 plus points this year. So if you could respond to that one first.
I agree. I mean, I do. I think that the ball, I'll be quick, Shaun. The ball is rolling. What you guys saw last year when we started off, what was it, 10-1 and lost like 6 straight or whatever the hell it was, 5 straight. I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
6.
I think the opposite is going to happen. I'm like, dude, anybody, especially if this shit goes to Philadelphia, bro. I'm telling you guys, I've been to it. I've been live at an NFC Championship game. I would not want to go there if I was an opposing team. There's no way. There, like when I say a home field advantage like truly matters, that shit was insane. Like, I don't know. So if when we get to Super Bowl, we're not fucking losing. I don't care who it is. We're not losing. We better lose Hurts, Saquon, Lane Johnson, and only have Smitty and goddamn Kenny Pickett. That's the only
way we don't win is another COVID outbreak, brother. Only way we don't.
That's the only way, man.
They gotta shut the world down to stop us.
You got Hurts under center, and you got Saquon Barkley. I mean, in that line alone, offense will handle business the way we need to. In our defense, like I said, yeah. So I agree with Chicken. Somebody getting their ass whipped in that Super Bowl.
So the other comment that I wanted you to respond to comes from cousin Cordell, who is a noted Steelers fan. And week 15, it's going to be a battle of Pennsylvania. So Cordell wants to know, Kaz, and Kevin, you can answer this next. Cordell says, can they beat the Steelers?
Go ahead.
I'll be very, 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 very brief. Russell Wilson, Russell Westbrook, Russell Simmons, Birds by 40. I don't give a fuck. That ain't no. No. Hey,
excuse me.
They winning their division though, Cavs.
I don't give a damn.
NFC.
Listen, hey man,
division already, Toddy. If you forgot,
who's in your division?
Justin Fields, Justin Tucker, Justin Timberlake, Eagles by 40.
It don't matter.
It don't matter, bro.
And Kevin, I would
2 years ago
I'd
they
imagine
came to the link and got that ass whooped. Yeah, I know y'all remember this. Yeah, AJ Brown going to the pole, just belt to ass. So we're not worried about you, Cordell. Apologies, man. You guys had a great season though. Congrats.
And Cordell says by 40 is crazy.
40 is crazy. I was thinking more about 42 and a half.
I thought you were going to say 39.
About 50 city, you know what I'm saying?
We're not the Ravens. and we're not the Bengals.
Jaevon, as the only, and I'm going to exclude myself from this debate, but Jaevon is the only non-biased person on this panel, and all due respect to both you, Kaz, and Kevin. But what do you think about that Week 15 matchup, Jaevon?
I think the Eagles will probably be slightly favored. What week are we in right now? 14, 13?
This is 13, so
13 just ended, so it'll be on the 14.
So it'll be next week. Yeah, the Eagles will probably be favored probably by 2.5 on the road. Steelers home. Where's that game? Is it in Pittsburgh? It's in Pittsburgh.
Well, yeah. Thank you.
It's on Earth. It's on Earth. Milky Way galaxy.
I
saw a stat that Tomlin is like Tomlin straight up as a home dog is really good. The Steelers probably be a home dog. I would probably. I don't know. That'd be a really good game.
That man Tomlin, he looked like Omar Epps. This ain't loving basketball, bro. Eagles by 40.
Eagles probably win the game. I feel like the game will be a lot closer than these two Eagles fans will think. But Eagles probably win that game.
Is George Pickens better than Jamar Chase?
George Pickens?
No.
What is that?
Hell no.
He's not a good receiver, so I don't know what he's gonna.
Jalen Carter gonna rip somebody's leg off for real.
Hey, man.
Whoever's playing quarterback is in hell.
Calvin Austin.
Let me go see Calvin Austin and Mike Williams. Yeah. Woo. Just like I heard about Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews. Oh, shit.
And even Chicken says the games at Lincoln Financial Field, Steelers ain't scoring more than 9.
If it's at Lincoln, it's at the Link, then the Steelers or not Steelers, the Eagles.
It's not called Hurts anymore, is it?
I don't know what it's called anymore. Yeah. Oh, you mean
what? Heinz Field?
Heinz Field.
Called something
Heinz
else.
Field.
Yeah, it's called like Ackershire now or whatever.
If it's in Philly would be favored by 5.5.
Well, it's not in Philly.
We will get to Cordell's Steelers a little bit later in our speedy Week 13 NFL recap. But the only thing I'll say about the Steelers is that they have finally proved to me that they are legit. I have not been believers in the Steelers all year. I picked the Bengals to win yesterday. I am now a believer in the Steelers. And when it comes to the Eagles,
it's in the link.
Oh,
yeah. But I mean, just to wrap up this game, when it comes to the Eagles, man, I'm kind of glad that the 49ers are kind of out of it because I would be scared of this Eagles team if the 49ers had to see them in the playoffs. And that's just me being
42.
Yeah, this is just me being quite frank and honest. And Kevin, you got to shave 3 minutes off of that because of the intro that I'm gonna cut out of it at the beginning. But yeah, there you go. Clip it right there. I would be scared of the Eagles if the 49ers had to play them. And if the 49ers somehow, some way manage to win the NFC West and get into the playoffs, they would have to see the Eagles at the Link. And so it ain't looking good.